Hey, it's Thursdays with Beseda Flooring. We're talking basement floors.
We wanted to review with you today what kinds of flooring we put into basements and what we look out for each type of flooring before we install it, and then how to protect your flooring in the basement from moisture coming in through your concrete or through the walls. So stick around. I'll show you what to do. So the first product I wanted to bring up is what we call a glue down LVP, or luxury vinyl plank. And this is one of our favorite products to put into a basement because of its inherent waterproof features or water resistant features. And it's also very flexible. So one of the first things we look out for when we go into a basement is how level the floor is, because concrete, sometimes over the years it settles, or when it was poured initially it didn't settle correctly, and so there's imperfections in that floor. So for flooring that would require too much prep work in order for it to make sense, we like to use this flooring because it follows the contour of the ground. So this is a great product for basements. Next up, we have engineered hardwood. Sometimes people don't realize that they can actually put hardwood flooring in the basement. The only rule is that it has to be an engineered hardwood product. So that's something else that can go down. Next, we have a regular luxury vinyl plank, which is a rigid product. So made out of the same material as a flexible product, except it comes with a core that is solid. So it's a product that's going to float and lock together. And then similar to LVP and a rigid core, we have a laminate. Laminate material is going to have a slightly different core from a LVT product. The main difference being that it's not made of PVC plastic. Most of them are made of a compressed wood core. It's typically a yellow pine. And it's going to have a melamine finish to it, which is very scratch resistant. Another great option for a basement. Now, the only thing you have to look out for products that aren't glued down, meaning anything that's not an LVP or an engineered hardwood, is you have to make sure that there's a pad underneath it and a moisture barrier underneath it. The moisture barrier is the key feature that you're looking for. A lot of these LVPs and laminates will come with an attached pad these days, but what they don't have is a moisture barrier, and your manufacturer is going to require that. So what you can do is a couple different things. You can get a pad like a Quiet Walk Plus, which is typically what we would use. Comes with that moisture barrier, so it keeps any moisture from coming up from the concrete and going into your flooring. It also helps if any water goes on top of the flooring and happens to get underneath, it helps wick away that moisture. Similar to a Quiet Walk, we have a Quiet Board, which comes in like a big sheet of plyboard, or like a plywood, but it's about a 1/4 inch thick, and it's also going to provide that moisture barrier and give you a little bit of thickness as well underneath the product if thickness is an issue for your flooring. For products with an attached pad, you can also just do a thin layer of plastic. We call this 6 mil poly, and it's actually like a thick plastic trash bag is what the material basically is. And so for something with an attached pad to it, you can just do that black thin piece of plastic underneath it. It's a very inexpensive thing to do, and that will give you the moisture protection that you need. Lastly, what you can do is roll on a product. It rolls on like paint. It's called VB100 from Ardex, and that is a moisture barrier in its own. So it actually seals the surface of concrete. So that's another way you could do your moisture barrier. Lastly, another option that people like to do in basements is carpeting. When you do carpeting in the basement, you're going to put a normal carpet pad underneath it, and moisture is just something that you have to contend with carpet. There's really no way around it if carpet gets moist under there. Really for any flooring. What a moisture barrier is not going to do is protect your flooring from a flood. If your basement floods, it floods. It doesn't matter if you have an LVP, a vinyl product, or a laminate product, or carpet. No insurance company is going to take up your flooring, let it dry out, and reinstall it. Once flooring is flooded, it's flooded. You're going to have to replace it. So that brings me to something else you can do for your basement, which is prevent flooding from happening. So if you have a sump pump, some good questions to ask yourself are, is it my sump pump working? When was the last time I replaced it? Should I put a backup battery on my sump pump if it runs a lot? If you have any large equipment like washing machines, water heaters in your basement, is that machine in a tray that could collect water if it happens to leak? And then another thing you can do too is look at your sewer lines. When was the last time you had your sewer line scoped to see if it was cleaned out? that's something you can do to make sure that your sewer lines don't back up and cause a flood in your basement as well. So those are some of the things you can do to protect your flooring from moisture in a basement. So overall, you've got a lot of flooring options you can put in a basement. It's just a matter of looking out for uh, imperfections in your floor ahead of time to see what product is right for you, and then making sure you get that proper moisture barrier for your warranty. So the more you know with Beseda Flooring.